what is a presumptive condition and how does it affect claiming VA disability?
So presumptive conditions, that's another path to service connection, like secondary and aggravation. And let me start off by giving an example that most people are common with. If a Vietnam-era veteran steps foot on Vietnam, they are presumed to have been exposed to Agent Orange. The Agent Orange is not the condition that they're suffering from. They're not submitting a claim for Agent Orange. However, if later down in the road they develop diabetes or hypertension, VA presumes that the veteran was diagnosed with the diabetes as a result of their exposure to Agent Orange. So presumptive service connection is when you are exposed to a toxin, chemical, or even a location, and you develop a condition that VA has a list of medical conditions that have been applied. With the PACT Act, there was multiple presumptive conditions that were added for Afghanistan, Middle East veterans that suffered through burn pits or were deployed, such as rhinitis, sinusitis, and there's other restrictions. I believe asthma after 10 years has to be diagnosed after their discharge. So there's presumptive service connection, but there's also some caveats with the condition. So if you were downrange and you think you might have a condition, check VA's website of presumptive conditions to see if you have it. And if you do have a medical condition that has been diagnosed and you meet the requirements of where you were deployed, submit the claim under a presumptive basis.
So the way I take it then is like, I mean, if I was putting in a claim for my knee, I would have to prove that it happened in service. Like I fell off a truck and here's the medical record for me falling off a truck. But with a presumptive condition, it's just, hey, if you were at this place at this time and you were diagnosed with this condition, VA just automatically grants the nexus for that.
They presume it to happen, yes, sir. So it's a grant.
Okay.
And going back to one of the conditions that you mentioned with the left knee, the example you gave, you described you fell off a truck. That is what VA calls an event in service. The most common type of service connection is called direct service connection, and it requires three things. It requires an event in service, it requires a current diagnosis, and it requires a medical opinion, also known as a nexus, linking the event in service to the current diagnosis. Let's say, for instance, that left knee incident, say you never fell off a truck while on active duty, but you were in a car accident after your discharge. Well, unfortunately, that car accident wasn't the event in service. You might have a current diagnosis, but if you don't have an event in service for the knee condition, VA is going to deny the condition. So all three are required. Without it, you're not going to have a service-connected disability.
You've got questions and we've got answers. Whether you served, are currently serving, are a caregiver, or a veteran advocate, the SITREP is your trusted source for information. Subscribe today at www.youtube.com/@VA Made Simple.